So, another theory got confirmed. So Oda is using the tournament to make Luffy stronger. The participants were not strong in this chapter, but I expect some of them to be stronger, or to be clever fighters and give Luffy a real challenge. For example, Mandor, due to his Delphoid power, it is very hard to defeat him. But even if there are people who are strong and they will fight Luffy in this tournament, I don't think Luffy will gain much. Rayleigh told Luffy that if you want to improve your haki, you need to fight really intense battles because haki cannot be improved during training. Well, besides the basic stuff. So I don't think there is someone in this tournament that can give Luffy a fight like Katakuri did. In that fight, Luffy did improve his observation haki. So it is very likely that Luffy will fight Queen at the end of the tournament, kinda like a final boss. And Queen will give Luffy a hard battle. Luffy said to him, "Hey balloon guy, if I send you flying, will you let us escape?" So it is very likely that those two will fight. When Luffy will defeat everyone that Queen puts in front of him, he will probably get mad and will want to fight Luffy himself. But in their conversation, Luffy said something interesting about Queen. He said to Queen, "You are actually a good guy." Now, 99% of what Luffy says, it's pointless and you should not pay any attention, because it means nothing. Except when he says two things. Number one, you are a good guy. Number two, you are strong. Up until now, Oda has shown us that the Beast Pirates are ruthless towards anyone and anything. Which is not a surprise, they are not called the Beast Pirates for no reason. But it could be that Queen is different. Maybe he will let Luffy go if Luffy defeats him, or maybe even join him against Kaido. Remember what Mihawk said about Luffy in Marineford, that he turns his enemies into allies. It was mentioned a couple of times in this arc that the Alliance has not enough people against Kaido. Maybe one way to balance things out is by someone changing sides. Anyway, when Queen was explaining how the color works, I immediately thought of Rayleigh. These colors were no problem for him. I wonder if he has taught Luffy about these colors and that's why Luffy was very happy and did not care about these colors. Those handcuffs were causing problems to him, to the extent that he was not using haki, but now that they are gone he can use all of his power. And even if Rayleigh did not teach him how to remove these colors, I don't think they will cause any problem, because they just explode. What can an explosion do against haki? If Luffy is able to defend himself with armament haki against powerful attacks by powerful people, then an explosion will not be able to do anything. Anyway, in the previous chapter it was revealed who was the mysterious prisoner, but I forgot to talk about it. When I saw him talking to Raizo, I thought maybe he's one of the 9 commanders of Oden, but when he said to Raizo, "You have not changed a bit," I did realize that he is not, and in this chapter it was confirmed that he is not one of the 9 commanders. Since he did call the old man boss, then this means that he used to work for him. So Oda is still not introducing the other commanders who did travel into the future. The other things that I did forget to talk about in the previous video were the bounty of Queen and the fact that he lost his left arm. Let's start first with his arm. We all are wondering, what is Shanks' mission? What is he trying to accomplish? Well, based on what we did learn recently, it seems that his mission is to cut other people's left arm. It could be that Queen did come across Shanks, and what did happen to Kid did happen to him as well. It seems that Shanks is into cosplay way too much, and he wants everyone to cosplay him. Anyway, about his bounty, well, if Oda did not give Luffy a bounty of 1.5 billion, then Queen's bounty would have an impact on us. This is the highest bounty that we have seen of the Yonko commanders, but it is hard to be impressed now that we know that Luffy has a higher bounty. And not just that, but also the way it was given to him, as a joke. So now I'm kinda suspicious. Maybe Queen got his bounty that way as well. In short, bounties do not mean as much as before. And maybe Oda did that on purpose, since we are at the final part of the story, he is trying to diminish the importance of the bounties, because they did serve their purpose in the story. Usually you would rank the characters based on their bounties, how strong they are, or how important they are to the story. And now that we are in the final part of the story, Oda wants us to think that every character is important and powerful. And if this is the case, then I think it is a good idea. And then we go to the bathhouse again, because it seems that we have some unfinished business there. First, let's start with this. How did they know about the tattoo and what it means? This is not the first time that something like that did happen. It could be that there is a traitor in the Alliance, or someone on Kaido's side is very smart. Sherlock Holmes smart. Anyway, a bunch of things did happen at the bathhouse, and Nami gets naked. I know that Oda is trying to make a glorious scene here, but for me it had an opposite effect. I don't like how Oda draws the waist of the women. It is way too thin. It looks very weird and unnatural. It looks more like a misshaped doll than a human. And what makes things even worse for me is that I know that in the past women and sometimes even men, they used to wear a very tight belt around their waist in order to make it smaller. And if you do that for a couple of years, then the waist will become smaller or thinner, but this is very bad for your health. So whenever I see someone's waist in one piece looking like that, besides that it doesn't look good, it reminds me of those stupid people in the past and it makes it even worse. Anyway, on that panel where you can see Sanji, Hawkins and X-Drake together, I thought they are going to fight. But no, the next panel we see Sanji flying and has taken with him Nami, Robin and Shinobu. And Sanji said that Beppo and the others were captured. Again, how did they know about them? Sherlock Holmes strikes again. And lastly, we see Zoro. He did find the thief of his sword, which is quite an achievement for him. He usually does not find anything. The whole thing is great, except one small thing. Why Zoro is not telling him that Ryuma did give me this sword and I did not steal it? The same thing did happen with Kinemon as well. Now, I know that Oda wants for Zoro to fight this guy, and that's great. But even if Zoro will tell him the truth, that guy will not believe him. So they will still fight. So there is no reason for Zoro not to tell the truth and speak normally, and it would make sense more for the story. Anyway, what did you guys think about this chapter? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, like, share and subscribe for more One Piece videos, and see you in the next video.